All right, welcome to another week of Brawl Till We Fall, and this is our Brawl Till We Fall news segment. So, welcome. My name is Teo, and we're going to get started with what happened this week in WWE. We're going to start with WWE first. So, we're going to kick it off with some official news from WWE before we get into Raw, I should say. So let's just get into the news. So right now, it's official that Stephanie Vacure is officially in WWE. She made her debut at a WWE live event yesterday in Mexico City as she defeated Isla Dawn. So it's official that we now have a new female that has joined the WWE ranks. We just saw her over in AEW facing the CEO for her title. So it's great to see that Stephanie has made her way over to WWE, and as she stated, is a dream come true for her. So let's see what happens and see when she makes her on camera debut in WWE. Well, moving on, let's get into WWE Raw. Um, this week we saw Punk in the ring. This is the aftermath of Money in the Bank. He was in there and he was interrupted, of course, by Rollins as he was making his statement about why, or it shouldn't be a no why. We already know why he attacked Drew McIntyre. Of course, they've been back and forth with each other. But Rollins came in the ring to let him know how he felt about the situation because, hey, yeah, you want to attack Drew McIntyre, and that's all good and well, but you also interrupted my match, so but to no avail. CM Punk is a stand-up type of guy sometimes, and he apologized to Rollins about it. And later down, I believe they're gonna have that fight. But right now, his focus, Punk's focus is on Drew McIntyre. But Seth, he left with I guess. I mean, he said some things though that I don't agree with because at the end of the day, I personally believe that Punk can beat Seth Rollins. But Seth, had the rights, so I guess Punk just backed down and just took in what he said because he know that Seth was angry. But moving on, the Wyatt Six. Okay, so Jay Uso was facing Chad Gable. They had their segment last week, and before it even get before anything could be said and done, Wyatt Six made their appearance, and Jey Uso gave his yeets and ran into the audience. Which any black man with anything horrifying coming, we're not gonna stick around to find out what it is. So I don't blame him for that. Chad also took a run because they've been targeting him for the last few weeks. And Sister Abigail drops another box at commentary. All right, moving on. We got um, a backstage segment with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. As you know, before Money in the Bank happened, they had an agreement. That agreement was that if Priest defeated Seth Rollins, that he cannot challenge him for the belt as long as he is champion. Well, that went out the window because they saw what happened with CM Punk interrupting the match. So, with that being said, Seth Rollins got his match from Priest. That's okay. So let me explain what I'm saying here. Okay, so Priest is already claiming that he is going to beat Gunther at SummerSlam. He's taking Gunther lightly, and that's the way I'm looking at it. You don't know if you're going to beat Gunther at SummerSlam. So how are you going to make an agreement with a Seth Rollins, and you don't even know if you're going to beat Gunther at all? You don't know. In fact, I'm going to put it on the record that Gunther is going to be the new champion. Damian Priest is going to lose at SummerSlam. He's going to lose that belt. I'm putting it on the record. So at the end of the day, you making an agreement with Seth Rollins to give him a championship title match after SummerSlam as though Gunther is an easy opponent and oh, you could just defeat Gunther. That's easy like that. This man held that championship that the intercontinental championship for months, for years. You really think it's gonna be that easy to beat Gunther? Okay, Damien, when you pull your head out your ass, then I suggest you, and as if you even make it to SummerSlam with the belt. There's a few people that could actually take you out. But anyway, we're gonna move on. I digress. Breaker's Rampage. That's what I call it. Braun Breaker is off the chain. He's out of control. Sami Zayn had his in-ring segment, and Braun came out there and speared him. But at the end of the day, Sami Zayn was basically bragging about beating Braun Breaker. So what did you expect to happen? This man is out of control anyway. So he came out there and he speared Sammy. Ilya Dragunov came out there to his rescue. But here's the thing: Ilya Dragunov challenged him to a match. And Ilya Dragunov can give Braun a run for his money. But Braun knows that. So I'm going to just skip to that match. And Braun Breaker gets disqualified by throwing a actual chair, not one of those chairs that they sit at to do ring broadcasting. He threw one of those chairs at Ilya to cause a disqualification. I have those chairs. Those damn things are heavy. So anyway, after that, Zayn comes out to the rescue for him, and total chaos just ensued. But Braun Breaker took out both of them. They're really pushing this dude as I would say the next monster, the next beast incarnate, I should say. But he still does not hold a candle to a Brock Lesnar. He doesn't. You can try to replace Brock all day, but this dude is not. Now, is he out of control? Yes. I think that Brock needs to come back and straighten him out. That's just my opinion. But anyway, moving on. We saw a new alliance. The Damage Control was um, in the ring uh, celebrating their win. And out comes Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Sonya Deville to make a name for themselves by attacking Damage Control. I'm going to tell you right now. This three is really something to be desired, because they got a great arsenal together. Their chemistry together can really destroy the name Damage Control. They should be called Damage Control, to be honest with you. Um, in fact, if I was them, I'd just take their name, because those three midgets that's there that are calling themselves Damage Control can't do no damage against these three. And then showed this was a easy assassination right here. All right, moving on. The highlight of the night, the main event of the evening. Dominic and Liv Morgan versus Ray and Zelina. Um, this was a good match, but the highlight of the night was the fact that Dom actually, for the first time, defeated his father, Rey Mysterio. But it was after the match where they got excited. Dom was excited, Liv was excited, hugging, and they even had a uncompromising position in the ring. And who returns? Mommy. Rhea Ripley made her return. And Dominique was caught in the act. And I think that he was just about to give in to Liv's temptation. Just about to give in. And just when he thought it was safe, Mommy returns. I can't wait to next week's Raw to see the results of these shenanigans. Every week has been something crazy. I can't wait to next week. But that ended Raw. We're going to move on. Let's go to NXT and the highlights that happened over there. So, wasn't too much craziness over in NXT. Um, the match of the night goes to Tony D'Angelo and Lexis King for the Heritage Cup. Tony still got the cup, but he knew he was in a fight with Lexis King. Lexis King put him through hell. So with that was a great match. Um, There were other matches. Soruka defeated Fallon Henley. The OTM defeated the OC. Thea Hale defeated Izzy Dame. Gallus defeated Tyson DuPont and Tyreek. Carmen Petrovic defeated Ariana Grace. But now to the match that started. Well, let me just go back to what started. Okay, so it was the aftermath of Page. Ethan Page was celebrating his victory as the new champion. And Aura Mensa tried to get in there, but my man Page came with security. He came prepared for that. And then Trick Williams came and interrupted Sean Spears and then Javon. They all came in the ring, which you all know was going to happen. All hell broke loose. And that set up for a match, which was supposed to be a main event match with a tag team between Javon and Williams. However, they took Javon out, leaving my man Trick without a partner, and that was the plan to take him out. However, the end of the night, the match came about, and it was Trick versus um, your boys Sean Spears and Ethan Page. They thought they had a win. TNA Joe Henry made his appearance to team up with Trick Williams. So again, we see TNA coming to NXT and making a name for themselves. And that wasn't the highlight. That wasn't the only highlight of the night for TNA. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. But yes, he came out as the partner of your boy Trick Williams, and they beat their ass, and that was the end of that match. But it was also Ora Mensa did come back out and handle him some Ethan Page. But now there was another highlight of the night: the reunion of MSK with Wes Lee, another set of TNA stars showing up on NXT. So I want to see what happens with that. But that pretty much ends NXT. So now we're going to move on to SmackDown, WWE SmackDown. Um, I'm gonna just be honest with you. This was a great show, um, but it was mostly highlighted on the Bloodline. It began with Tiffy time. Of course, she kicks off SmackDown with her in-ring presence, with her briefcase in tow, because she did win the Money in the Bank, the Women's Woman in the Bank match. And she was interrupted by Bailey, and then Nia Jax came out, and then Bailey catches a beatdown. Because if you don't know, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton have been aligning together, and I see them as an alliance, a very dangerous alliance. But to no avail, Mitchin came out because Mitchin been trying to get her hands on Nia Jax for the last few weeks. Came out swinging her kendo stick and came to the rescue of Bailey, which I thought was going to be a tag team match. But no, it was Nia Jax versus Mitchin, which was for tough. I take nothing from you, but you are not going to beat no Nia Jax. And her sitting on your chest should let you know to go back to NXT and hang out over there. All right, moving on. LA Knight's in-ring segment. He gets his wish. He wants to face Logan Paul at SummerSlam, and he got it. So he got his wish. So he's gonna be facing Logan Paul. He had the contract in tow, and he signed his half of the contract. We just need Logan Paul to sign his half of the contract. So it's gonna be official. LA Knight to face Logan Paul at SummerSlam. All right. Now, let's get to some other action. The turmoil between Austin Theory and Waller has grown, which is great. Like I said, and I'll say it again, I think these two, Theory and Waller, should be singles competitors. I don't like them as a tag team, but their rematch against DIY defeated them. They are still the champions. They still got the tag team belts. And as they were arguing with each other, however, and this is what happens in life, period. You can have a fight with somebody, your cousin, your relative, your sister, your brother, whatever, but it takes somebody from the outside to bring y'all together. Now, in this case, Jacob Fatu came out and destroyed everybody in that ring, including DIY, and they caught the worst of the blows of it. But if Waller and Theory got together to go up against the Bloodline in any way, they're gonna get smashed. But it could be the way to bring them back together. And they're gonna end up in the hospital, but still they'll be side by side in those hospital beds. But anyway, your boy Jacob Fatu came out and destroyed everyone, cleared the ring for Solo to come out and make his statement and say what he needed to say. So he did, and he came out and he said what he had to say. And that is that he is the tribal chief, and everyone will bow to him, including Cody. And Cody will bow to him at SummerSlam when he faces him for the belt. Well, Cody comes out to the ring to deal with this situation and gets dealt with. Of course, the Bloodline beat the hell out of him. Randy tried to make the save, but they beat the hell out of him and laid all of them out. And that was the end of SmackDown. It was just carnage. Come on, the Bloodline. It's 4 against 2. Really, you ain't got no wins on that. Y'all guys need to reassemble and find a 4th man. Simple as that. In other matches, Naomi defeated Blair Davenport, and Legado del Fantasma defeated Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. And that pretty much wraps up WWE's segment, SmackDown, and NXT Raw. We're going to come back after these messages with AEW. Stay tuned. Hey there, family. This is your boy Teo, aka Tony Ant-Man Oso, for those that know me. I'm just giving you an update on our show, Brawl Till We Fall. We got some changes. Brawl Till We Fall is now going to be a news show. It's going to be updates just like we've been doing, but it is a news show now. So we are doing more broadcast news about what's going on in the wrestling world. So, with that being said, we still will have our Let's Talk About It special Thursday segment. It's going to be per month as per pay per view. Maybe 2 times per month. Depends on the pay per view because we have AEW and WWE. Also, TNA, who is also doing their pay per view. So, we've been covering all of the 3 major wrestling shows. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can also catch us on Brawl Till We Fall at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we are, of course, on Brawl Till We Fall, YouTube.com. And that's where you'll catch our shows. You can also go on Facebook and go into our groups. We have 2 groups on Facebook, so you'll never miss what's going on in wrestling today. Thank you so much for being a fan, and I hope to see you there in our rooms later. All right, we're back. Let's talk about AEW. Let's get into AEW Dynamite. So we saw the in-ring segment of Will Ospreay. He kicks off Dynamite, but he gets interrupted by MJF on the Titantron. Well, actually, he calls out MJF, and MJF comes out on the Titantron. I don't know. I've seen MJF go against people, and in his segments, usually he comes out in person if he's not afraid of them. So I don't know. I see a little fear of MJF versus Will Ospreay. I don't know. However, we're gonna find out next week because during this Titantron presence of MJF, he challenges Will Ospreay to a fight next week on Dynamite for his belt. So we're going to see him face Will Ospreay for the International Championship next week on Dynamite, and I can't wait for that. So I want to see them both in the ring. Let's see if MJF can take out Will Ospreay because he makes it seem like it's so easy. I don't know. Let's check that out. Anyway, the match of the night was Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page. This was a bloody, crazy match. Adam Page, like I said last week, has been out of control. He's off the chain. And he showed it against his match against Danielson. He is definitely off the hook. And he still lost, though. Even the change in the attitude, you can't beat a person like Danielson like that. The more out of control you are, and the more you beat him, the more he takes it, he absorbs it, and he comes back, and and that's what he did. He absorbed it. Now, there was some help. I mean, outside the ring, you had some people that was helping him, but at the end of the day, it's still, I don't take nothing away from Bryan Danielson. Moving on after the match, Swerve Strickland came out because now that Danielson has won, and he is the new winner of the Men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament, he gets to face my man Swerve at All In London. And this should be a great match. This makes me want to go buy my ticket right now, but I'm not sure if that's going to be feasible for me at this moment. However, this does mean that Swerve will be facing Danielson, and that is going to be a match where it determines if Swerve is the one of the greatest champions of all time, because he already beat Will Ospreay. If he beats Danielson, yeah, he will then, in my book, be one of the greatest. And that would mean that MJF will definitely have to worry about ever getting that belt back. And that's the way I look at it. But speaking of Swerve, he came out and officially stated that he is leading the team AEW in the fight against the Elite, the EVPs, at Blood and Guts. And he will do what Danielson could not do at Anarchy, and that is win against the EVPs. Now, that all depends on who he has on his team. Now, there was a backstage segment where your boy Adam Page was upset about his loss, but it seems like he is catering to the EVPs and may join them as that 5th man at Blood and Guts. Just because he wants to face Swerve, he will join the Devils. That's what I call the EVPs right now. They are the new Devils of AEW. And he will just give in his soul just so that he can face Swerve again. Now, does Swerve have to worry? Of course. You're talking about, like I said, Hangman is out of control. So, an out of control Hangman teaming with the EVPs is you're gonna have to find yourself, my man Swerve, somebody just as crazy. If I had to guess of who you need on your team, if I had to pick who you need on your team, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Blackpool Combat Club without Danielson, Jess Moxley and Claudio. That was those two, and then you gotta find the other two. Now, FTR put in a hell of a fight, but I'm gonna be honest with you, you need somebody even crazier than that. And if I had to pick the last two to join you in this, it'll be the House of Black. You are guaranteed with that team that I just picked for you to defeat the EVPs. Guaranteed. Now, moving on, we saw the return of Darby Allin, who attacked Brandon Cutler. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I already know Tony Khan, and I already know he's going to try to throw Darby Allin in there because he is this epitome of little people and that they are the future, because I feel that he thinks that he's a little guy and he can do these things. So he wants to use little guys to put in there. I'm going to tell you right now, Tony, don't throw Darby Allin in there. Please don't. He's great. He's dangerous. He does some crazy things. But we have seen what the EVPs did to him by hanging him upside down in that ring and beating the hell out of him. Don't do that to the man no more. All right. Moving on. The CEO's in-ring segment is cut short by Britt Baker, who beats down her security and causes her to flee into the crowd, which tells me that the CEO doesn't want to face Britt Baker, which I find crazy because she's faced people like Charlotte Flair, who I believe have more skills than Britt Baker has in her hairline. But that's just me. So I don't know why she's fleeing, but let's move on. The highlight of the night, as I predicted, this one. Now, I didn't predict that she was going to win the championship. I thought Willow Nightingale was going to win the Owen Hart's Foundation tournament altogether. But Mariah May did win, and I give her props. She did win without any shenanigans. But then it's after the match that she loses her mind and attacks Toni Storm, making her bleed all over. She beat her with a heel. It was just bananas. She tosses poor Luther into the tables off the ring, off the apron. I mean, oh my goodness, she just went crazy. She's bananas right now. But I knew it was coming. I knew her and Toni Storm would have. I mean, come on, she's gonna have to face her for the belt because now that she won that tournament, she gets to face her for the title. So I knew it was coming, but it has to come. Somebody has to give in because it can't be good guy versus good guy, and you can't be friends trying to face each other for a belt. Is whoever is the best man wins. The other matches that was included was Pac defeating Kyle Fletcher, Claudio, and Ishii in a fatal four-way. Chris Jericho defeated Samoa Joe in a Stampede Street Fight. Now this was ridiculous. This was ridiculous. Your boy Jericho went off on Samoa Joe. He used a damn forklift on Samoa Joe. Took him out. Last week he took out Hook and put some fire in his eyes, and the learning tree is teaching people, baby, not to mess with the learning tree. They're doing their thing, and I don't know, because Jericho is making it happen. He's showing people that no, I ain't ready to retire, because they keep saying that. The audiences keep saying you need to retire. No, Chris Jericho is like, no, I'm the entertainer, and I'm gonna bring entertainment. You want to show? I'm gonna show you. If I do go out, I'm going out on my own, and I'm gonna show you why I don't need to retire right now. And now he is building up a very great roster of people that's coming for him, though. Moving on, we're done with AEW Dynamite. Great show. Loved it. A lot of action. But now we move on to AEW's Rampage. It was only one highlight of the night, and that was the match with Malachi Black and Brody King defeating Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. Other than that, wasn't really much to talk about over there. So we're going to move right on into AEW Collision. Tommy Billington. Now, I've given this man plenty of credit. He is the nephew of Dynamite Kid. He is awesome. And he fought against Takeshita of the Don Callis family. And he put him through a fight. He made Takeshita know, yeah, you may win. And he did. Takeshita won. But you've been in a fight. Tommy Billington is one of the newest, greatest fighters, wrestlers of all time. And he is going to be the future of wrestling. And I don't know why WWE didn't pick him up. This kid is no joke. But he is showing me I have nothing but respect for him. Don Callis felt that way too. He did shake his hand and looked like he was trying to recruit, but then he turned around and they jumped on him and the Don Callis family, until the return of FTW. They came out to his rescue, and they're back, and I see all kinds of shenanigans going on with them against the Don Callis family. Moving on, the Bullet Club Gold. They defeated Michael Allen, Richard Clark, which he has the longest damn name in wrestling, Sean Moore, and London Lightning. After the match they announced, Juice Robinson announced the injury of Jay White, their fellow Bullet Club Gold member. And he was trying to use the fact that they're all in the same club, that they can represent, the Trios Championships, and he can take his place until he returned. And Danielson was like, nope, we're not having that. They stripped him of their title, the Trios titles. They got stripped. And then your boy Christian tried to come in and say that he just should hand the belts over to him. Danielson was like, nope, we're not doing that either. We will have a chance for you to earn them. Y'all got to fight. So to be the Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bullet Club Gold members. So, including Juice Robinson, no Jay White, because he's going to be out for a minute. So I just can't wait to see that. But I'm going to tell you right now, Christian Cage, you already started the fight with the House of Black. Let's not forget that you're on their radar. So I don't see you. If you do get those belts, it will be the very shortest reign that you ever have. Trust me, because I do not believe anyone, including you and your patriarchy, can beat the House of Black when they all have assembled themselves together and as one. So moving on, that was the main highlight of the night. Other matches included Top Flight defeating Shane Taylor Promotions. This was basically a revenge because on Rampage, Shane Taylor Promotions beat Top Flight. So this has been a back and forth battle, but Top Flight got the last hit. Nyla Rose defeated Ava Lawless. Nyla Rose accepted the CEO's open challenge for the TBS Championship this week on Dynamite. I can't wait to see that. Roderick Strong defeated Dalton Castle. Sky Blue defeated Harley Cameron. The Undisputed Kingdom defeated Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly. Now, after the match in this one, Trent Beretta did attack Orange Cassidy and was about to attack Kyle O'Reilly. However, the Kingdom stopped him. But just as they stopped him and he was standing in the ring, Orange Cassidy got the last hit by hitting him in the back of his head, or back of his neck, I should say, with the wrench, knocking him out. Which Trent Beretta deserves that because he keep attacking Orange Cassidy from behind. So now he got his lick in. So, but that ends Collision, and that ends AEW's coverage for this week. I'll be back next week. Hopefully some interesting things will happen in other than what has happened in TNA coming over to NXT. And I'll be able to hit you with some things and some interesting facts that's going over in TNA. But right now, this is all I got. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week. SummerSlam is coming up soon, and me and my brothers will get together and do our Let's Talk About It segment. But for right now, peace, hair grease, all that good stuff. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all next week. I'm out.